So I decided to do this video as promised for those of you who were in my class yesterday. We'll call it Hop Hooray, all right, because it's all about some foundational hip work that's necessary before we begin the bigger movements for hip. So we know that the hips and the feet are speaking to one another. So we're going to begin with our Pilates stance, but we are going to begin in parallel today. And I want you to feel that you can experience the four corners of your feet. So big toe base, little toe base, and the inside and outside arches of your feet. And as you inhale, imagine that the domes are lowering, the dome of the diaphragm, the dome of the pelvic floor, and even the domes of the feet relax. As you exhale, feel as if your legs were drawing up energy from the earth and a suction cup in the arch was created, and through the dome of the pelvic floor and the diaphragm as the air exits your body. Inhale, let all the domes relax, let your kneecaps be loose, and exhale, feel as if you were drawing up and out of your body with your breath. Now on your next inhale, lift up onto the big toe base and little toe base, and exhale, settle down into your heels. Inhale, rising up, and exhale, settle down. One more time, inhale, rising up, and exhale, settling into the heel. Keeping your toe bases just where they are. It's gonna feel a little funny, but I want you to lift your heels slightly and then scooch them together, but keep your toe bases glued where they were. It's gonna feel like your feet are getting spread. That's what I want you to feel. Just in case you did it incorrectly, let's go back to parallel where our sits bones and our heels are in alignment. And then notice as your heels are heavier, you feel like your sits bones are lifting up, right? So we find that root to rise sensation. Now lift the heels slightly, squeeze them in, but keep those toe bases glued and settle back down. Try to avoid readjusting your feet. From that stretched position, take an inhale, rise up like you have a drawbridge for feet. Exhale, close the drawbridge. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, as the heel becomes heavier, feel that energy coming up and out of the earth. Root to rise, inhale. And exhale. Staying in your Pilates V, go ahead and give me a demi-plie. So we're just gonna keep those heels grounded. And inhale, feel that the pelvic floor can be open, relaxed, the knees and the shins are stretched. And as we exhale, we zip up through the inner thighs. You feel the sits bones lift up and the pubic bone muscle lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift up and out with the breath. Inhale, we demi-plie. And exhale, stand. Using those deep hip muscles. Inhale one more time, feel relaxed. Exhale, inner thigh, pubic bone, sits bones draw up and in. Perfect. Now from here, let's talk about second position and a little more inner thigh. So take the heels as wide as the outside of your hip frame. Let the toes be slightly out, but not overly exerted in that external rotation. So just be relaxed. Good. Now, go ahead and give me a few demi-plies, maybe as you normally would. And notice if you feel a little quad dominant. So this next time, what I'd like you to do is take an inhale, settle down into that demi-plie, allow your pelvis to be relaxed. And now as you exhale, imagine that your two heels are trying to shorten the floor under you. As they try to shorten the floor under you, like squish the rug, scooch the rug, you'll get that energy shooting up your legs into the inner thighs, pubic bone, and sits bones. You feel that base of the powerhouse lift. Inhale, we relax it. Exhale, draw up. And notice how the big toe base, little toe base, and heel should stay solidly planted. Inhale, and exhale, we pull up. One more time here. Inhale, sinking down, and exhale, drawing up and in. Perfect. Now, the next thing I'd like to show you our little standing work exercises. So let's come back to parallel here for a moment. We're going to get a little bit higher now into those hip muscles. So we're just working on the foundation. Standing nice and steady on your left leg. I'd like you to lift your right leg. I'm going to mirror you. So I'm going to stand on my left leg. And we're going to lift the right leg up and down. I just kicked the reformer beside me, but that's okay because we really don't want to go super high. In fact, you shouldn't be. Your hips should stay side by side. And you're really isolating what I call the blue jean pocket muscle. Okay, so you're gonna pull that up, exhaling as you do. And then notice the other thing that may want to happen. As you pull the foot up, you may want to start leaning into that left leg, like a leaning Tower of Pisa. I'd like you to bring yourself back up and over. And notice as you root through the foot, lift up through the leg, like elevator going up, elevate, elevate. You're gonna feel a lot more cheeky here. And that's good, that's what we want. Let's try the other side. So feel rooted through that standing leg, switching sides. We're gonna lift up on the exhale and back down. Notice if that hip wants to lean. If so, maybe you use a kitchen counter for a little while. Prop yourself there and try not to touch the kitchen counter. Better yet, stand right beside it. Try not to touch your kitchen counter as you lift and lower. Exhale, we still think about that breath, and we inhale, relax. Good. From there, we went into a little bit of prancing. So we talk about footwork on the reformer. We go into prancing. We usually see people not come very high into their ankle and roll out to their pinky toe. I'd like you to keep into the rails of your legs. So hip, knee, and ankle are lined up. My big toe is still heavily weighted. And I'm gonna stretch through the front of that ankle. Keeping my hips side by side, my hands are there to help guide me. I'm gonna switch. And I'm gonna switch. So this is where I told my class, get rid of your Diana Ross and the Supremes. Okay, so we're not doing any of this. There's a time and place for it, but not in your prancing or running work. So we're going to stretch the ankle. Ground the heel, stretch the ankle. Ground the heel, stretch the ankle. Ground the heel, stretch, and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Doesn't matter which leg your inhale or exhale is on, as long as your inhale and exhale are both present and even. Okay, perfect. Next up, we're going to do a little bit of seated work. So I'm going to come down here with you. And this is how we would set up in mermaid on the reformer. But what I'd like you to do is having one leg in front, one leg in behind. And if this is uncomfortable for you on the floor, sit on a box or a bench. And just try to let maybe this foot dangle, or maybe your back foot feels more comfortable dangling off. Okay, but do try to get this hip positioning. It may be uncomfortable at first, but it is very necessary, especially if you have tight hips. So the first thing I want you to do is twist towards your front leg, the knee that's pointing forward. Twist towards it. And I'd like you to hold it for 3 deep breaths. Maybe every exhale gets you a little softer into it. And now perhaps you press into that hip and hold it for 3 more breaths. So it's as if I'm trying to press down through the knee to lift my hips. Relax that for a moment, shake it out. We're going to return to that same position. So inhale, grow tall. Exhale, give it a gentle twist. Press down through the knee, and now press down through the ankle. Feel it change, and just hold for 3 deep breaths at least. You can hold it for more if it feels good. And come around. Now this time, rotate towards the back leg. Now we're going to hold it here. Just be relaxed with your hands and take 3 deep breaths. Try to be soft and relaxed through the legs, through the knees. And now this time I'd like you to act as if this front knee, we're trying to press down, as if you were trying to twist and lift a little higher. Relax for a moment if you need to. Come back into it, gentle twist. Remember to throw the shoulders back, but root, lift, and rotate. And now maybe you press down through that front foot as well. So now we have both knees and both feet active. So we were trying to press ourselves up off the floor. And then release. To give this a gentle stretch, keep your front foot where it is, take your back foot around. And maybe you stop right here and take on this flash dancer pose, right? Reminds me of the flash dance cover. Or you can take this and step it across the front knee. You can do all of this while sitting on a bench as well. Or maybe you just simply cross your legs if you're sitting. Just get that nice stretch and give it a little lean over if you're able to. You can make this as gentle or as deep as you prefer. Okay, now let's come around to the other side. So switching your legs, take a moment. And once you're there, maybe you need to move some of the soft tissue around under your bum so you can settle in. And now let's first twist to the front knee. And take 3 deep breaths. And try to breathe into it. Smile into it even. Now maybe you take that back knee and act as if you're trying to press the knee down, as lifting the hips a little higher. As if you were trying to propel yourself forward. Come out of it for a moment if you need. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, we twist again. Press into the knee, press into the foot. Really lift. A little squeeze there through the touch. It's a good thing. Come back. Perfect. Settling in. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, twist towards your back knee. And now just be here for 3 breaths. And then give it a little push to the front knee, like you're trying to lift up or twist a little further, or look over your left shoulder. And come back to center. One more time, twisting, twisting, twisting. And now let's push into both knees, both feet, like as if we're trying to lift up. And then relax. Great. So while I have you here, let's talk about your breathing for just a moment. And now that you have these movements in your place, or in your mind, I should say, you can always go back and do another round thinking of this breath. So we got the movements out of the way. Now let's get a little detailed with the breath and then repeat these exercises and see if you can merge the two even more. So I like to think of a 5-pointed star. And we can do this with pelvic tucking or pelvic circling. I'm going to stand up so that you can see me here. So if I think about pelvic tucking, a lot of times, and especially when we're lying down, people tend to clench their gluteals to bridge. And I like you to instead think about your 5-pointed star. So the 2 ribs, the 2 hips, and the pubic bone. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Likewise, in the back, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Tailbone being your back point. Think about inhaling and breathing into all of those points of the star, like one of those beautiful star lanterns. As you exhale, feel your breath come back into your center. Inhale, breathe into the 5 points of your star, and exhale, come back in. And you get stronger at that as you inhale. The back of your ribs will expand. You should feel the breath even in your waist, not just your belly button, and your tailbone should feel relaxed. When you exhale, all of those points come in. If you're trying to bring all of your energy back to the center of your gravity. Now, you can get so strong at that as you inhale, you can make sure your posture is nice. As you exhale, the pubic bone will start to get pulled forward towards that center of gravity. Inhale, let it expand. So think about that 5-star breath the next time you're doing these exercises or while you're practicing your bridges. Have a great day.